Hi everyone, Michal is here and I'm super excited. Tim Jordan is with me, the community and the seller guy. I think everybody know him. I don't need to introduce him. So Tim have an amazing topic today for his session. You want to tell us a little bit?
Yeah, I'm talking about things that are happening in social media that are positively impacting social media that we can use for our brands.
All right, I cannot wait to hear. So I'm gonna give you the stage and I will be right here in the background.
All right, so yeah, what's new in social media, how it impacts your online sales. So a few objectives here. One is I'm going to discuss some opportunities, also some problems that we have. We're going to talk about some kind of the unrelated tidbits that kind of go together with this. And then towards the end, I'm going to take all of these, what seemed like unrelated items, connect them all together into a much larger strategic framework that myself and other sellers are using to grow their businesses. So first off, I want to start off with this. This is the Sears catalog. The Sears catalog was like the epitome of remote selling, right? These Sears catalogs would come to your house, people could order it. The largest version had 322 pages, 6,000 items, and it was hitting 20 million homes. The Sears Tower sold in 94 and 95. Amazon sold its first book. If you put Amazon's 12 million products into a Sears type catalog, it would be 25 stories tall. So the point is, even the epitome of examples of selling direct to a consumer online was this crazy catalog, the Sears catalog. What we have at our disposal is infinitely larger, because we have these crazy thing called cell phones. So what used to be the storefront or the catalog where you would put your items for people to see now is on your cell phone. And for the most part, a lot of that's being led by social media. All right, so people go to social media and they're browsing, entertaining things, and they come across those storefront windows or those catalog pages, so to speak, theoretically, that is marketplaces like Amazon. So when we can combine that catalog with that store window, which is cell phones and computers, like it's changing our future as sellers. It's allowing us the opportunity to be able to sell anything to anyone, anywhere in the world, from anywhere in the world, with basically our cell phones, which is pretty cool. But that social media component is a large piece of this puzzle, because that's where people are seeing those catalog pages, those windows, as they're browsing. So, definition of success. You're all on this online summit. You're all watching. You're going to be judging me based on my content. You're going to be judging the other speakers based on their content, how good it is, how impactful it is. So my definition of success is if you get one tidbit, if you get one tip, if you get one actionable step out of all this that you can use in your business. So even if you watch for 30 minutes and most of it is not interesting to you, or it might be something you already know, as long as you get that one tidbit, then it's valuable for you. And I'm glad that you're here to get it. So one of the first trends is affiliate marketing. Now, the way that advertising used to happen online has been massively changed by the government, the FTC. We just recently saw the FTC is even suing Amazon for the way that it um, has potentially some unfair business practices. Well, the FTC also regulates marketplaces like Amazon and like Walmart, because they want consumer trust to be high. They don't want consumers to be duped, right? So what's happened is sellers have become more savvy to being retargeted and having sponsored ads put in front of them. And the platforms have also realized that they need to have a higher relevancy, higher conversion way to get traffic that falls within the FTC's guidelines of appropriate marketing. And the best way to do that right now is through, or I should say, one of the best ways for a lot of scenarios, the best way to do that is through affiliate marketing. Now, many of you are familiar with affiliate marketing, some of the big platforms, ShareSale, ClickBank, PepperJam. Well, Amazon Associates is one of the largest affiliate platforms in the world. People can go on, grab a unique link from an item and an ASIN, and they can put it out to their audience. And if that conversion happens, they get a sale. Well, the big problem with affiliate marketing is that there are increased ad costs. So there's lower margins where people used to be able to run ads on social media to get that traffic and get those conversions. That increased ad cost is starting to hurt. Also, consumers are more savvy. the affiliates need to actually increase their reputation, increase their notoriety, and increase their following to get these conversions, because consumers are starting to understand that affiliate marketers are making commission. There's also a lot more competition, a lot more affiliate marketers out there. So the revenue shares are also going down. Amazon on their associate program used to offer like between 8 and 10% on most product categories. Now it's between 1 and 3%. So these affiliate marketers need a new solution. So if we could find a way to use affiliates but fix their problems, it would be huge. This is my Amazon Associates workflow. So basically, I have someone doing research. So I have someone performing research and identifying affiliates in that niche with the same keywords. A VA reaches out. We DM them a message, which I'll show you in just a second. It's templated messages. We get about a 15% return rate if we do this right, meaning a 15% response rate. We send samples. We build rapport with them. We give them a link. We confirm or they can go get a link. They can get that associates link, that tracking link, and then they get paid right through Amazon or by us. Here's that template letter for outreach. So you can take a screenshot of this really quick, or you can, if you're watching the recording, you can pause this and look at it. This is one of the most effective templated letters that we've used for reaching out to these associates to try to, point out their pain points and their problems and fix them. So some of you have seen this before, but most of you probably haven't. How do we find the right and relevant affiliates to sell our product? Because we don't want an affiliate that's typically selling soccer products to try to sell our birdhouse, right? That doesn't make sense. The audience is different. So we have Amazon, which is a search engine. And a search engine, just like Google or YouTube or Pinterest or Bing or Yahoo or a million others, is a platform in which you put a keyword, and that keyword then turns into the most relevant results, right? Those results are the most relevant to your keyword. That's why if you go into Amazon and you type in iPhone case, you're not going to see a podcast microphone, right? They're going to show you iPhone cases. So because that search engine only shows relevant products, what you can do is trick the system by using this slug, which is amzn.to. And that slug is a unique identifying factor in every single Amazon Associates trackable link, right? So anytime someone on their YouTube video description or their Pinterest post or on their blog is trying to get commission by being an affiliate, they will have a link that includes this amzn.to slug, and you combine that with search engines. So like in this example, I typed in amzn.to makeup. Well, every single one of these videos are Amazon associates selling makeup, and you use any category that you want to, and you can see huge view numbers. And we know that because that slug amzn.to was included, beyond a shadow of a doubt, we know that these influencers, these content creators, are Amazon associate sellers. So what we can do, and here's some of the more common ones: the share a sale one, the link synergy, the clickbank one, and the CJ. So then what we can do is we can find these top affiliates, and then we can reach out to them with that workflow that I just showed you a few slides ago and make them a better offer, right? So here's an example of the share a sale one. So shareasale.com, and then camping. Every single one of these posts or every single one of these videos we know is an affiliate seller using the share a sale platform. All right, next tidbit. Remember, I'm going to tie all these together later. Social listening is happening. Now, because we're in a world where we get to cheat and we get to ask our computers anything, I asked ChatGPT, what is social listening? Well, it refers to the practice of monitoring these online conversations, messages, interactions with these social media platforms to get insight into what a customer wants, what they prefer, how they're behaving, how they're converting, right? So it's a lot of data that's analyzed from these social media platforms and channels to figure out what the brands are saying, or what the users and what the influencers and what the buyers are using about the brand. So social listening is impacting e-commerce a lot of ways. One, it helps us identify trends and customer preferences. So if you have a competitor's brand that's selling in multiple places, has D2C sites, has especially social media, you can use social media to identify what they're doing that might be hitting a trend and what the customers prefer. So if you're thinking about identifying another product that you can make, a way to differentiate or improve a product, that's great. You can also improve customer service. If there's a problem with your products, they don't always show up on Amazon reviews, but they might be being talked about in social. You can also enhance your brand reputation, right? This allows it's like the same way that if someone leaves us a review that's against terms of service or is inappropriate to our listing, we can have that reviewed. So we can actually go in and have some reviews or comments removed by these platforms, which helps our brand reputation look better. And it's also great for influencer marketing because social listening can help us find those affiliates or influencers that are talking about our product that we might never know existed. So the top apps right now to do this, to listen to social, are these six right here. Again, take a screenshot of this. These are the top six most popular platforms and apps that help us listen to social. There's also social opinion platforms. A lot of you are familiar with PickFu. I love this. Um, Basically, the way that social opinion platforms work is they're a paid service. They pay these influencers or these consumers or these buyers to go in and review these products, to look at different aspects of them, whether it's listing images or title. I shouldn't say review their products, but review their offering and give feedback on that. So you can have different options that you can get comparisons to, and you can also get real time reviews on those attributes to figure out what they're thinking about, what the consumers prefer, and maybe some suggestions. Third tidbit of how social media is impacting e-commerce: live streaming. It's going crazy, and it's now accessible to us as e-commerce sellers because it used to be very, very difficult. So we need to pay attention to live streaming for several reasons. Here's just some information talking about how live streaming is increasing, and it only increases because people watch it, people use it. Amazon Live is the fourth most popular e-commerce streaming platform in the U.S. There's a few others that are slowly losing ground to Amazon, which I think is interesting. Many of you have met Gracie Ryback, a friend of mine. This is an example of basically how her Amazon Live feed looks. This is what her storefront looks like when she's selling a product. And she gets paid a few different ways. Amazon pays her for the content, but also she gets commission on those products. What's interesting is when she starts a live, she might have a few products that Amazon has instructed her to sell. The rest of it, she has to come up with on her own. So she goes to Amazon and she finds products, she finds deals of the day, and then she talks about those products on the live. And then if they sell, she gets a commission. Well, Amazon has been telling us, the seller, that the way to work with influencers is to pay them a ton of money, right? So 6 headliner streams, 10 minutes of coverage per stream, minimum of one celebrity headline, and A-list influencers like Gracie. They do a few other things here, and the price is ridiculous, right? It is ridiculous. It can be. I've talked to people that have spent 150 to $200,000. What's interesting is if we go back to the Amazon Live sellers that are basically promoting other people's products for a little bit of commission, and then we look at what Amazon's telling us, which is spend a lot of money to get your product featured. We have the opportunity for side deals. And a side deal means we can go to these Amazon Live sellers and tell them, hey, I'd love to ship you a product. I'd let you look at a sample. Instead of you just getting the small commission that Amazon gives you, what if I paid you to talk about this? And from what I've been told, it's completely within terms of service for the influencers, the live streamers, perfectly okay. And it's much less expensive than paying Amazon to feature those products. So you just find a live streamer that is selling to the similar avatar, customer avatar that your product fits with, and you can make a deal with them. The fourth trend that's happening is user generated content. It is king. Everybody knows that the more authentic, realistic videos, are more likely to go viral on TikTok. We know that opening or unboxing videos and review videos are very popular. Try on videos, haul videos on YouTube are very, very popular because UGC is king. So when we're looking at an influencer, we're looking at someone that we might be able to work with. I will also suggest that you go and you validate to make sure that this, what looks like user generated content, is coming from someone that is legitimate, someone that actually has a good following, hasn't bought a fake following in a different country. Here's a couple tools that you can use to check that. It's Hype Auditor and Grin to figure out, what is the validity of these influencers. So embedded UGC, user generated content. It's now used in Amazon Live. These are things like unboxing, reviews, and videos like these that are basically placed anywhere. Another thing that I love is this tool called WTI, What Tools Inside, that allows you to put live streaming content anywhere. You can put this on your Shopify site or other D2C site. You can put this a lot of times in your socials, and you can create a live streaming option outside of Amazon's live streaming that works exceptionally well if it's used in the right places. So when we're looking at, let me go back up. When we're looking at UGC, all right, so we're talking about UGC, make sure that the user generated content is actually user generated content. Insert it using these different platforms anywhere that you can, in addition to using like an Amazon Live. And then the next thing is use negative UGC. Now on the left here is a Snapple, an Ocean Spray piece of content some guy did, where basically the challenge was to drink like several bottles of this juice and hold your pee essentially. Well, Ocean Spray didn't pay him to do this. He just did it because he thought it would go viral. And it's a little bit negative. Like we think of it as negative. Oh, Ocean Spray has, some guy drinking this and trying not to pee. Like this is weird. But it was one of the most top performing social media posts talking about this brand all of last year. And Ocean Spray can use that, right? It's still publicity. Um, Also, you can take UGC, negative UGC and use it to correct problems to create virality. An example of that is Bird Dog Shorts. Bird Dog Shorts was a company that went on Shark Tank and they were rejected. And Mark Cuban just wore them out. Mark Cuban gave them all sorts of negative publicity. He talked about how terrible this idea was. So they used that. I mean, that was user generated content from Mark Cuban and it wasn't good. But they took that and they turned it into an ads campaign. Mark Cuban is a dusty old queef. Don't listen to him. They ran that on Facebook ads for like a year. It came across my Facebook all the time, and it was awesome. The other thing that UGC, negative UGC, does that we can use is correct legitimate issues. If there's problems with our products, if someone goes on and creates content about it, or a competitor's product, like fix the issues with your products, fix your listing, fix your advertising, and find a new ways to succeed with your offer. Another trend is augmented reality. Now, the first place that we saw augmented reality really mainstream was Snapchat. It was when you would hold your phone up or hold the camera up to somebody's face and it would insert one of those filters. Like that's augmented reality. It's in real time, it's moving along with you, and it's come to e-commerce. Social platforms are using it a lot, right? TikTok is using it. Here's an example of how they're using it with Amazon products and with Amazon purchasing. Another great example are multiple retailers of clothing, designer clothing, that lets you basically take a picture of yourself and quote unquote try on these products that you're looking at on your body. IKEA was one of the first to the market doing this, where you could take a picture of your home or your space, your apartment, whatever it is, and they would insert these different pieces of furniture or home decor that you're thinking about using. Some of the emerging platforms, I won't go through all of these, but these are some of the ones that are impacting social media. Again, take a screenshot of this, pause this, whatever you need to do, because these allow us to start inserting augmented reality into what we're doing, which is pretty cool. So another thing that's happening right now is people rapidly navigate. People are actually clicking links. People are going to offers. People are clicking things to figure out what it is. And this is fairly new to social media. It used to be people would just scroll, they wouldn't click. What's cool is we can start stacking of pixels to acquire them as an audience. Now, the average cost per click for like Facebook and for TikTok is really, really high, right? It's exceptionally high. So acquiring that audience to those channels can be, I don't know, not very cost effective. But what's interesting is Google is much, much less. And influencer campaigns for the right influencers and micro nano influencers can be much less. So the old way of doing things was you would have an influencer campaign, go through like your Amazon attribution link to your Amazon listing, and hopefully come to a conversion event. But if they didn't buy that product, it would actually hurt you, right? Because your conversion rate on Amazon was decreased. So we didn't see a whole lot of value in doing that. But now what we can do is we can use tools like I prefer PixelMe that creates an ability where that traffic passes through. It still uses the attribution program, but instead of just your Amazon attribution link, it uses the PixelMe link. And even if they land on this Amazon listing but don't convert to a sale event, you are still repixeling them for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, your own personal website, your blogs, whatever it is. So the cost of acquisition for that click, you can use much cheaper sources like influencer campaigns or Google. And then you're reacquiring them for those more expensive locations like the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, right? And that audience is exceptionally relevant because if you're running from a exact match keyword phrase on Google Or if you're running from one of those micro and nano influencers that have the specific audience that match your product, then that relevancy is exceptionally high. So you're building an audience with those pixels that you know is going to be interested in your product. So that's pretty cool, because all someone has to do is click a link to see what the offer is or to just engage, and now you can retarget them. The other thing that's happening with social media is people love UGC, the user generated content. We talked about that. But now what's happening is all of that can be easily repurposed, which is really, really cool. This can be our content or somebody else's content. What I like is using somebody else's content, and that would be Amazon reviews, influencer campaigns, creative ads, unboxing videos. That is UGC content from somebody else. So what I mean is we can go in and create content, for example, from our Amazon reviews. People leave good reviews, turn that into social media posts, turn that into testimonials. If an influencer runs a campaign of your product on social media, it's public domain, you can go in and reuse that. But for most Amazon sellers, that's a lot. We have to edit stuff, we have to optimize stuff. Like that's tricky. I like this tool, which is called Repurpose House. Repurpose House is a tool that takes and repurposes content. And if you go to repurposehouse.com/Amazon, they actually have offers specifically for Amazon. And you'll see, I just took a snippet screenshot from their website. You'll see some example videos of what they're able to do by taking that UGC content without you having to do anything and turning it into repurposable assets that go other places. And what's really cool about that is all of this ties in together. So I've talked about, for example, retargeting traffic, right? You get an influencer run a campaign, it doesn't convert very hard, but you can retarget them. Repurpose House makes those videos that you can then use for the retargeting. You don't have to go and start from scratch. We talked about finding influencers and incentivizing them. Well, if we incentivize them, we can now pixel stack on top of them, then repurpose their content, right? Like all of these trends are very important to what's happening in e-commerce. But what's really interesting is you can start utilizing a lot of these together to create one cohesive ecosystem of traffic solutions primarily. Now, here's my challenge to you. You're on the eCom Power Summit right now. You're listening to a lot of content. You're digesting a lot of content. If you're taking a lot of notes and writing a lot of sticky notes and you don't implement just one thing, I think you're messing up. And sometimes, I know I do this, I get overwhelmed with all the different opportunities, all the different ideas, and I fail to just implement one thing. But that one thing could be the turning point in your business. So my challenge to you is to take what I've talked about today, or what all these other great speakers and experts are talking about, and just implement one of those things. So to summarize, this is how it all comes together. Affiliate marketing is booming. You can fix their issues and get free sales essentially through Amazon Attribution Brand Referral Program. Social listening is happening. We can use that as research and content, right? Live streaming, we can work side deals with these influencers on platforms like Amazon. UGC can be placed nearly anywhere as live shoppable videos. Augmented reality is here for eCom. You can stack your pixels and acquire mega relevant audiences. And we can repurpose what we have or what other people have created for us, which is typically very genuine. And now it allows us to do things like use those pixels for things like TikTok ads. I know I went through that really, really fast. I was given a time limit. I talked as fast as I possibly could, and we covered a lot. If you want one of the slides, or if you have a question about any of this stuff, you can email me at tim@carbon6.io, and I will get you a response.
All right, this was very, very interesting. Like everything is changing so fast, and you have to be on top of everything. So that was great, Tim. So thank you so much. And you guys, if you wanna get the slides, just contact him, or maybe he will give it to us and we can share it with you guys.
Sure.
So yeah, good to see you.
All right, thanks.